here at the Italian Community Center, where we are super excited to kick off the 38th Annual Taste of Milwaukee, supporting Broadscope Disability Services. We've got a great night in store, so come on in and let's get started.
Didn't you hear we're going virtual? Nobody tells me anything.
All right. Hey, welcome to the first ever virtual Taste of Milwaukee, benefiting Broadscope Disability Services. My name is Aaron Carreno. I'm a media personality here in Wisconsin for the last 12 years. And much like you, we've got that quarantine look going on. See, you can bid tonight in your pajamas. Okay, so while tonight's event may look a little different, we're all still here for the same reason, and that is to benefit our friends over at Broadscope Disability Services. Now, hold on a second, because I just don't feel right trying to help out our friends at Broadscope looking like this. Just give me a minute. How about this? Is this more presentable? Okay, I promise I can put it together every once in a while. Don't forget tonight, as we go through the virtual Taste of Milwaukee, to get your cell phones out and be prepared to bid on the auction items using this link below, okay? And with that being said, I present you Mary Shinkowich, who is the Executive Director of Broadscope Disability Services.
Thank you, Aaron. We are so excited to have everyone here tonight. This year, Broadscope is celebrating 50 years of advancing opportunities for individuals with disabilities, and we are especially grateful for your support tonight as we continue to provide essential services in these very challenging times. I want to take a moment to recognize all of our wonderful sponsors: Acme Housekeeping, Associated Bank, Harley-Davidson Motor Company, RM Plans, Dr. Gerald Harris and Marquette University, MGIC Mortgage Insurance, O'Leary and Anik, Riley Penner and Benton LLC, Ryan Engelhart, Tri-City National Bank, our amazing restaurant sponsor, SC Johnson, and last but certainly not least, Creative Graphic Imaging, who has returned as our print sponsor for the 16th year in a row. We just couldn't make this event happen without the support of all of these wonderful sponsors, many of which support us year after year. We hope you enjoy the evening, and now let's get cooking with our first demo.
Hi, my name is Alex Sasma, and I'm the executive chef for Onesto in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward. First off, I'd like to thank you for participating in the Taste of Milwaukee's virtual event and for supporting Broadscope Disability Services. Today we're going to be making one of my favorite dishes on Onesto's menu, the fusilli. I'm going to walk you through each step and give you a couple of tips along the way. So the ingredients for the fusilli include cremini mushrooms, asparagus, parsley, a little salt and pepper, olive oil, heavy cream, truffle oil, and our fresh-made pasta. To execute this dish, you're going to want to start off with a pot of boiling water and a saute pan that is already pre-warmed. All right, so let's get started. We're going to turn our pan up to medium-high heat. We're going to add our olive oil. Next, we're going to go ahead and add our cremini mushrooms very carefully. We're going to give that a little stir. Next, we're going to add our fresh pasta to our boiling water. We're going to allow the mushrooms to cook. Now, I cut the mushrooms a little bit thicker because we're going to put a lot of heat to it. We're going to put a lot of seasoning. This is one of my tips, is that you're going to really want to control your heat as you're cooking this pasta because it's very easy to burn cream, but it's also very easy to undercook mushrooms. So we have the mushrooms cooked about halfway here. We're going to start adding a little bit of salt. We're going to reduce the heat down a little bit and allow this to continue to cook. Now I'm going to season it a couple of times and really allow those mushrooms to soak that up and continue to caramelize and build the flavor. We're going to go ahead and season a little bit more. We're going to add our asparagus to the pan. Now we've got some really nice caramelization forming on these mushrooms. The one thing I want to point out is I have very thin asparagus. When you have a little bit of thicker asparagus, you're going to want to blanch it first. I'm going to go ahead and toss this all together. Give it a little bit more time to let that asparagus cook down. Now we're going to go ahead and start building the sauce. So I've got some heavy cream here. I'm going to go ahead and add that in. We're going to turn the heat down and just make sure that we don't burn the pan. We're going to let that reduce by about half. We're going to go ahead and add our pasta. We're going to make sure that we take a little bit of that pasta water with us, as the starch is going to help the sauce adhere to the pasta. Lower the temperature a little bit more, and we're going to allow this to simmer. So the sauce is reduced, the pasta is added. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. So we're going to take some truffle oil. It's kind of the last step that you want to take here, because the longer you put truffle oil, the less potent it is, and you really want the truffle to really be the first thing that jumps out to you. We're going to add a little bit more salt. You'll notice that I've added quite a bit of salt in many different layers. And you're probably thinking, wow, this is going to be really salty, but the salt is what kind of releases all of the flavors. So we're going to go ahead and just take my spatula, and I know that the pasta is ready because none of the sauce is in the bottom of the pan. It's all stuck to the noodles. All right, let's go ahead and plate it up. All the goodness in there. We're going to go ahead and garnish this just with a little bit of simple parsley. Just a hint of pepper. There you have it. This is our fusilli. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.
I know I'm definitely getting hungry. And by the way, we can't thank our restaurants enough for their participation in this year's event. Virtual or not, the show must go on. And let's take a look at what's cooking with our next restaurant. But first, something you can do at home right now, mix your own drink. For tonight, I'm gonna make myself a Wisconsin legend, beer mosa. Just take a glass with ice. Any glass will do. The amount of ice is up to you. Grab your favorite beverage, give it a crack. Nice cold beer does the trick. Pour that beer up a little bit. Okay, wait for the foam to kind of go down. At least I like to. Shake up that orange juice. Give it a little splash. And just like that, you've got a Milwaukee Classic Beer Mosa. All right, let's get this thing going. Cheers.
Cheers, Aaron. Well, drinks made at home are always great. There's nothing quite like a cocktail prepared by a professional. Nick, what do you have to show us tonight?
Hi everybody, I'm Nick Kosovich of Bitter Cube Bitters and Heirloom Liqueurs. Thank you so much for joining us today and supporting Broadscope Disability Services. I am here to make you a very simple cocktail using our pineapple amaro liqueur created in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's kind of an homage to 3 different places, the Caribbean, Italy, and here in the great states of Minnesota and Wisconsin. What we're doing is we are making an Amari, which is a bitter Italian liqueur inspired product using Caribbean botanicals and then pineapples. So it's a one-of-a-kind product. We're using the core, the flesh, and the husk of the pineapple, macerating that in a rum, and then incorporating Caribbean botanicals. What we're gonna do today is make a pineapple Amaro sour. Very simple 4-ingredient cocktail. We're gonna start with 3/4 ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Probably the hardest part, just using fresh squeezed juice. You really need to do that. 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, equal parts, 1-to-1 simple syrup. So 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of hot water, that's it. And then we're gonna do 2 ounces of heirloom pineapple amaro. Do check out the website heirloomliqueurs.com. More info about the 4 different liqueurs that we produce, as well as a bunch of different cocktail recipes. And then also bittercubebitters.com, where you can purchase all of our bitters as well. You could use any of our bitters for this drink. Every time you use a different bitter, it'll create a different flavor profile. Jamaican number 1 would be great, kind of those winter spices, allspice, clove, black pepper. Jamaican number 2, grapefruit, hibiscus, ginger, really bright and summery. I'm using our new root beer bitters, sassafras, sarsaparilla, birch, these really classic root beer flavors, but root beer and pineapple really go well together for me. So I'm gonna do 4 dashes of the root beer bitters, and then I measure the ice in the small tin, but then I put it in the tall tin, and then build in my my short tin, pour over, and then we're gonna do a nice shake. And then one thing I wanted to do for this drink is just express a little bit of citrus around the cocktail glass for aromatics. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a Hawthorne strainer and a tea strainer, and I'm gonna double strain this cocktail. So I put a little bit of orange oil in the glass. You could also finish the drink, with some lemon disc. So before you peel your lemons, either take peels, or before you juice your lemons, take peels or discs, and you can use that as an aromatic garnish. You can also add some additional root beer bitters or any of your favorite bitters to the top. So here we have the pineapple amaro sour. Thank you guys. Cheers.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're having a great time so far at this year's virtual Taste of Milwaukee. And don't forget to bid on the online auction items using the link below. And if you're not a fan of maybe participating in the auction, but you'd still like to make a donation, you can use that link below and just make a donation right here tonight. As we continue on with this year's Taste of Milwaukee, the virtual edition, we have a lot in store. I promised you some cooking demonstrations. We talked about how to donate using that link below, and now it's time for a little musical performance by the one and only Roxie Beane.
Hello, my name is Roxie Beane. I'm a solo acoustic musician here in the city, and I want to thank all of you for attending this virtual Taste of Milwaukee event. It was when I played this event last year that I really had the opportunity to see the array of services that Broadscope provides, and allowing those with disabilities to have, more of that independent living. So it's a pleasure to be here again this year, and thank you all as well. There's a song. Messing where you shouldn't have been messing. walk all over you. Are you ready, Boots? Start walking. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roxie. Again, it's the virtual Taste of Milwaukee. And next, you're going to see firsthand how your help tonight really benefits so many lives with Broadscope Disability Services. And again, all of your donations this evening through the online auction, or, if you just want to make a monetary donation, that's okay too, using the link below. All of that money helps benefit Broadscope. Check it out.
I was diagnosed with CP when I was 3, and the doctor said that I wouldn't have mentality to even be on my own.
Everybody has the right to live at their fullest potential.
I go to friends' houses, I go to brewery games, I still do a lot of fun stuff on the weekends. Morning, everyone, I had a good weekend. The Medical College of Wisconsin. I just celebrated my 20th anniversary there.
The Independent Living Program helps promote people's independence in any way we can by helping them in what they cannot do and allowing them and encouraging them to do what they can.
Being able to be independent like I am, knowing where I came from to now, it's just been a whirlwind of emotions.
We have our independent living program, which I work in as a community support coordinator.
They kind of guided me and supported me in what I wanted to accomplish.
Everything you've accomplished. I mean, look at this place. It's awesome. You were able to buy a couch by yourself from working. I mean, just look at it all. It's awesome. And you deserve it. And you know it. Don't do that because you're going to make me cry. Don't.
My career, I do great. Things like that. And I'm most welcome to work.
Very, very proud of Kevin. Yes. A lot of it is him. He wanted to be successful. And Kelly helped make that happen.
I help him understand all the different rules at Walgreens, all the different policies and procedures and how they expect a task to be done. We try to bring out the positives and the abilities that they do have. A customer came into Walgreens and she had difficulty tying her shoes, and so Kevin just went over, he saw that and he went over and tied her shoes.
So my oldest daughter, Kira, has a neurological disorder called Rett syndrome. It's a motor function disorder. We have a pretty vast network of special needs friends now, and we're constantly talking about school and therapies and respite. I would always recommend Broadscope because I have confidence that they know this market, that they know what they're doing, that they look at each family as their own family, and they understand that when you need respite hours, there are all sorts of reasons why you might need respite hours. I know that she is getting one-on-one time when I'm not here. She has been the greatest gift to my life. I want to give her the life that I feel like she should have been given.
I want to say thank you to everybody that supported me. Just thank you for giving me the opportunity to fulfill my dreams. Thank you.
Broadscope's awesome.
We want to thank you again for joining us. There are 2 ways that you can help support our mission tonight. 1, you can bid on one of our fabulous auction items. You still have time, bidding closes at 9 p.m. And 2, when you click the link to the auction, there's also a large donate button shaped like a heart, just like this. There's no gift too small. Every dollar you give makes a difference in the life of an individual with a disability. Having been with Broadscope for 25 years in many roles, I have seen firsthand how your financial support makes a difference in the lives of our consumers. Now let's get back to cooking. I know I'm having a great time. I hope you're finding tonight's event virtually delicious.
Hi, I'm Jed Hansen. I'm the executive chef here at Thunder Bay Grill in Milwaukee. If you'd like to learn more about us, you can go online at thunderbaygrill.com to see our menus, hours of operations, and more exciting things that we're doing here. Today, we're going to show you how to skin a salmon the way we like to do it here. It avoids waste and keeps a lot of that flesh intact. So what you're going to do is, since I'm right-handed, I'm going to start on the left, starting to cut the tail. And to get a good start, keep it angled so you don't break the skin. And then you're going to use your hand right along that seam. Hold the tail with your left hand and just slide your hand down and off it comes. And then you'll see the skin here has minimal waste. Once again, thunderbaygrill.com if you want to know more about what we do here.
Hello, Roxie Beane here. I want to thank you again for attending this virtual Taste of Milwaukee event benefiting Broadscope Disability Services.
Oh baby, baby, how was I supposed to know? Something wasn't right here. Oh baby, baby, I should wouldn't have let you go. And now you're out of sight, and show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now. But because my loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe when I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh, baby, baby, the reason I breathe is you. Boy, you got me blinded. Oh, pretty baby, there's nothing that I wouldn't do. It's not the way I planned it. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now. But because my loneliness is killing me, I must confess, I still believe when I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, I must confess that my loneliness is killing me now. Don't you know I still believe that you will be here and give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. Thank you.
Broadscope Disability Services has been instrumental to our family throughout the years. They have provided us with guidance and direction and respite services. There have been times that we have been so frustrated and we haven't been able to find answers, and I'm able to contact the staff at Broadscope, and they have taken the time to get to know our family and are able to help us to find those answers and to find those services. I've been able to recommend them to other special needs families, and they have also experienced the wonderful things that Broadscope has to offer. The respite services have been great for our family. They've been able to offer high quality, experienced providers that are able to really help my son and our family. He has autism and he has several medical problems. So having that more experienced, higher quality provider has been very helpful for him transitioning to us not being home, as well as giving us, more of a peace of mind and being able to leave the home with a provider there. We're so thankful for the staff at Broadscope and all the services that they provide, not only to our family, but to the community.
Broadscope is honored to provide these and other services to families across southeastern Wisconsin, and we are incredibly grateful for all of your support of our mission. Now let's check out what's going on in Smoke Shack's kitchen.
Welcome. My name is Alex Asma, and I am the executive chef for Smoke Shack in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward, and I will be demonstrating one of my favorite barbecue rubs. We're going to add brown sugar, paprika, black pepper, salt, chili powder, granulated garlic, and onion powder. What goes better with barbecue than bourbon? I couldn't think of a single thing. That's why today I'm going to be showing you how to make our limited edition bourbon barbecue here at Smoke Shack. Here are the ingredients that are going in the sauce that we're making today. A couple special ones to note: nutmeg, cocoa powder, coffee, and our favorite, bourbon. Thank you so much for supporting Broadscope Disability Services and for being a part of Taste of Milwaukee's virtual event.
I can't wait to go to all of these restaurants as soon as things begin to normalize. And it's so important now more than ever for all of us to support these establishments right here in our community. And with that being said, we are coming towards the end of tonight's virtual Taste of Milwaukee. Again, thank you for being here. My name is Aaron Carreno. I'm a media personality throughout Wisconsin and right here in Milwaukee for the last 10 plus years. I haven't made too much of a dent on my beer mosa from earlier, so I might need to put a little bit more ice in that. Take care. And before we go, I just want to say one more time, thank you for your support tonight for Broadscope Disability Services.
Thank you again for joining us tonight for our first and hopefully last ever virtual Taste of Milwaukee. We hope that next year you can be back here with us at the Italian Community Center, where these seats will be full and we'll be enjoying amazing food and entertainment. Don't forget to check out the auction. Bidding closes at 9 p.m. Take care and be well.